Hey guys, Nolar here, back with the Dokkan video. Not necessarily JP, actually more for global. Anyways, so I'm putting this out here because I put out a tweet. I recorded a video with Ningen and Hydros. Should be out on the 5-9 channel in a day or so when you see this. But we were just talking about the monetization of, global Dokkan, and I'm like, look, I made the statement that everyone's got a price, and my price was like, if you could buy 50 stones for $1, whatever currency you're in, bare minimum one, would you do it? And my hypothesis, and this was testing out this theory, tweet here, was that yeah, I would say like 90% of the people who were free to play, if it was $1, you would they would buy it. They'd pop their free to play cherry and just go for it. But I also thought about there's going to be a few people that just absolutely will not spend anything at all, which is fine. I have no issues with free-to-play players at all. You know what I mean? I have no problems with it. It's just I find it kind of interesting that everyone's got a price. And is it $1 for 50 stones? Is it $1 for 100 stones? Is it $1 for 1,000 stones? Whatever the case is, there's a price. So I just asked free-to-play Dokkan players to buy 50 stones for $1, just testing a theory here. So in a heartbeat, not free to play, but over the last 4 years, Dokkan has become one of my little favorite games. Yes, okay. Yes, but it will be really tempting. Yeah, okay. I started buying stones for $5 or 50 stones, so yes, a lot of free to play players would. I imagine that. There's a few of here that are like, no, absolutely not, and I'm gonna get to it right here. Like this guy here. I'm not, not highlighting or not pointing the spotlight to blame someone. I'm just curious to see what their reasoning is. Some of the senior play, but after a while you get used to not spending. I've been playing the game for 5 years, never spent a penny. Creating the budget for your stones between months and big celebrations is pretty fun at times. Okay. I know some people think it's a status thing, and while that can be interesting to see how far you can look and go as free-to-play player, I'm not trying to be the next Jay Fanta. This content is unique and interesting, but I don't feel like I need to experience it. Also, I personally do find it a little difficult, even for something that small, to just for playing for a chance at something that I want. At least that's how I felt when I first started playing the game. Now I'm 5 years older than I was back at the start of the game. With a job and a little more independence, I can get by justifying paying for stones now. I haven't done it yet, but I think on the 7th anniversary I'll go for it. Probably means 6th, or unless he's going to wait another year and a half for that. Dokkan is more than earned that much at least. Right. So, look, here's my philosophy with free-to-play players. Look, you're either a kid, you can't afford it. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't play the game at all. Enjoy whatever you want. I'm just saying when you become older and when you're an adult, there's a point where you value your time. So things are worth something. You know what I mean? Like the one thing, if I'm going to impart some wisdom from Boomer Nolar here, it's that time is the most precious precious thing you have. So if you're going to spend time playing Dokkan, or time learning a hobby, or training yourself, going to the gym, exploring other things, like that's time you deem valuable enough, or that's something you deem valuable enough to spend your time on, right? So you can't get time back. You can't buy more time. Just what it is. So the way I look at it as an adult, I don't have the time to sit there and do a lot of other things. Like my professional healthcare job, I can make more money doing crowns than cleaning someone's teeth. It takes about an hour a piece, but doing a crown earns me more money than cleaning someone's teeth. That's why I hire someone to do that, and even then, I still make more money out of it. So the little digression of that was to point out that you can need to maximize your time. And for me, if I'm going to spend a lot of time on something, I want to show my value and appreciation for it. And for me, because I'm in the position that I am, I purchase packs when I want them to, right? In that video I mentioned earlier, the reason why this is the theory is because there's two things about gacha pricing, or pricing in general. So the most expensive pack is $45 for 90 stones. Not even 2 multis, you gotta pay $45, at least on global, and that's US dollars. Sure, in euros it's like 43. Whatever your local currency is, it's around that price range. Inflation and whatnot takes into account. That sounds expensive and atrocious, and for 90% of the player base it is. And there's a reason why they do that. They call that anchor pricing. And they set the valuation of 90 stones is worth 45 US dollars for this in this case. And whenever they do a sale, even if you weren't going to buy the sale, the very first thing you think of is, oh, that's a good sale because it's cheaper than it's $33 for 90 stones or 91 stones, I think global is. And you're like, that's pretty good. You know, compared to what it was before. Overall, you probably still consider it expensive, but instead of 90% of the players saying $45 for 91 stones is a ripoff, then $33 for 91 stones, you'll probably be seeing maybe 75% of the player base. So you've gained a player base of 20% that are still going to buy it, or that are going to buy it because the perceived value has jumped up from $45 for 91 stones to $33 for 91 stones. That's worth it. That discount is worth it enough for them to bite the bullet and go in. So I was talking to the guys, and I was like, I'm sure if they just scaled it all the way back to $1, like the bare minimum, one time only, $1, 50 stones, get about 90% of the player base that would be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. That is something I'm going to go in on. It seems like I should, the first thing I should have done was put a poll, because that would have been more definitive. But, the polls can be manipulated. So, but the general consensus is like about 90% of the player base would do it. I would not out of principle. Cool. I mean, there's this other thing that I want to address is like people like the free-to-play badge. Like it's like a badge of honor. It's their status symbol. That's cool, but like, look, if you really enjoy the game, I'm just saying, if the easiest way to support a game is to financially support the devs and say like, I enjoy it, it's worth my time. Like the $1 or $2 I spent the last 40 hours this week playing, worth my time. You know what I mean? That's the value. If you were in the position to do it, even if you're not, like, you could still show respect to the devs and everybody else. Just, hey, share the game, talk about it, build a community, don't trash the community. Like that's kind of how I see it, where even if you can't spend, you can still contribute to the overall value of the game by building the community and participating in things and talking about it. If you're just there to have fun, like there's always going to be some people who are just going to be there. That's it. They're just going to play, not communicate, not talk to people, just do their thing. It's always going to be there. But you're going to have 90% of the people who's going to be really great, enthusiastic, and 10% are not. It's just the way things are in the world, So, but yeah, I mean, I got so many replies on this, and I figured I might as well address this because it's just kind of my thought processes. There's a price point for people. Like here, everyone has a price. This guy's like, no, I'm not selling my free-to-play tag, even if they give 100 stones for 1 cent. And I'm just curious. Everyone has a price, like, hey man, you could do some pretty random things, and you would say no. But if someone gave you $1 million, you might do it. $10 million, you probably would. 100, more than likely. A billion, like there's a price. Everyone's got a price. You just gotta find out what it is. So yeah, I just throwing it out there that like, hey, there's some people who just really don't want to spend. That's cool. And there's going to be some people who just out of principle, or they don't see the value in it. But I just want to throw this out there. Like, it seems like people would do it. Actually, I do want to address this one here because I said here. Some people simply don't want to spend money on gacha, which is fine. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, if you don't want to spend money on gacha, which is absolutely okay, then you're not really playing it that hard, or you don't really care for it that much. At least to me. I might be wrong, but it feels like then you should spend time on something you do enjoy and you would spend money on to justify that. You know what I mean? Like here, he disagrees, but I think I didn't like really articulate my point here, because it's more like they could just spend time doing something else if the gacha wasn't worth it for them to spend money on in the first place, right? So, either way, I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts are. You let me know. Would you spend $1 for 50 stones for the one time only, or is it more? Here's another thought. What if they gave you one free multi every banner? Once a banner shows up, they give you one free multi, but no GSSR. That's it. Would you be interested? Would you care? Would you complain that the free multi that they gave you nothing? Or would you even feel happier that the one feature unit you wanted you got from the free multi? You know? So let me know what you guys' thoughts on down below. Definitely check out the 59 Gaming Twitter and the YouTube channel, because that video should be up in a day or so when you guys see this, because we talk about monetization models of Global Dokkan in comparison to other gachas. Is it as good? Is it bad? Is it old and outdated? Does it need some work? Well, that's kind of the stuff we discuss there. So anyways, guys, hit that like button if you like the video. And if you're new here and like the content, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you all next time. Olar, out.